just to recap what we know so far, there was a shooter that entered that building this afternoon, opened fire with a shotgun. He shot through a glass window or door, and I say he because we know he's a man, we know he's in his 20s, we know he is white, we know he's currently being interrogated by detectives, but he's not giving his name, he's not cooperating, and he has no ID on him. Police have just said that in addition to the 5 people who've been killed, there are an estimated 3 who've been hurt. They've been taken to area hospitals. We've also learned that a potential explosive device which was on the scene has been, quote, taken care of, has been neutralized. CBS News also learned that there were fake grenades at the scene, flashbangs that emit smoke, create confusion. Those were also recovered at the scene. There were multiple layers of law enforcement who've been there throughout the day, local, federal, county, state police, all there working to try to put the pieces together. Sitting to my left is Paul Viollis. He's a CBS News security analyst. Paul, as we were watching this press briefing,
right,
you said several times this doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense because when we start looking at, and granted we have limited information, but as we start looking at the information we have on this particular individual, the shooting, where it occurred, when it occurred, the fact that he's a white male in his 20s, the fact that he's now trying to withhold his information from law enforcement, but yet now we understand that he's trying to not disclose, or he's done something to prevent them from obtaining, as you were mentioning.
That's right. What we've learned from our investigative team here at CBS News is that the suspect damaged his fingertips, so law enforcement cannot identify him. So right, these are extreme measures that he took to hide his identity.
Right. And this is the part that doesn't make sense, because when we have this limited information, we start breaking down what we have, and clearly this does not sound like a workplace violence incident from a former employee or a current employee.
Why not?
Because a workplace violence incident is going to occur from a shooter that's going to have an axe to grind, is going to have some type of disdain towards the workplace, whether it's current or whether it's former. They're not, and I have never, and I've been doing this now, I've been specializing in that since the mid-'80s. I have never once seen that happen. A workplace violence offender wants to get a point across, is looking for specific individuals, seeks them out in order to send a message, has told people what he was going to do before he was going to do it, and to who he was going to do it to. So just the opposite. He's not at that point looking to hide his identity. He wants people to know who he is because he wants to get a message across.